Oh. You're goddamn sick of it. This is the worst time ever to be a celebrity. You're gonna be finished. Everyone's doomed. Michael Jackson has been dead for 10 years, and this nigga has 2 new cases. And if you haven't watched that documentary, then I'm begging you, don't watch it. It's fucking gross. I felt like HBO was sticking baby dicks in my ears for 4 hours straight. Really nasty shit. I don't want to know all these things. Turns out, Michael Jackson allegedly likes a long gander at the anus. As they said, he stares at people's buttholes. That's what they said. That's how gross the documentary was. I'm gonna say something that I'm not allowed to say. But I gotta be real. I don't believe these motherfuckers. I do not believe it. But let me qualify the statement. I am what's known on the streets as a victim blamer. You know what I mean? If somebody come up to me like, Dave, Chris Brown just beat up Rihanna. I'll be like, well, what did she do? Dave, Michael Jackson was molesting children. Well, what were those kids wearing at the time? I don't think he did it. But you know what? Even if he did do it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, it's Michael Jackson. I know more than half the people in this room have been molested in their lives. But it wasn't no goddamn Michael Jackson, was it? This kid got his dick sucked by the king of pop. All we get is awkward Thanksgivings for the rest of our lives. You know how good it must have felt to go to school the next day after that shit? Hey, Billy, how was the weekend? How was my weekend? Michael Jackson sucks my dick. And that was my first sexual experience. If I'm starting here, then sky's the limit. I know it seems harsh, but man, somebody's got to teach these kids. There's no such thing as a free trip to Hawaii. Yeah, he's gonna want to look at your butthole or something. You know why I don't believe it? You know why I don't believe it? Because if Michael Jackson's out here doing all this molesting, then why not Macaulay Culkin? Macaulay Culkin said in an interview that Michael Jackson never did anything inappropriate with him or even around him. Think about that shit. You know, I'm not a pedophile. But if I was, Macaulay Culkin's the first kid I'm fucking, I'll tell you that right now. I'd be a goddamn hero. Hey, that guy over there fucked a kid from Home Alone. And you know how hard he is to catch. That's what I'm waiting for, because the timing of this Michael Jackson shit is what makes me doubt it. Every time there's wars going out of control, or the economy gets bad, or something is wrong with the world at large, it's always these moments in history that Michael Jackson will coincidentally jerk off a kid. This is getting ridiculous. Like, are you planning this shit? Do you have meetings?
Michael, thank you for coming. As you know, Michael, the war has not been going as well as we expected. There's been a lot of hiccups, and the public is asking us a lot of questions, of course. And, well, Michael, there's no nice way to say this, and all I know how to do is be direct, so let me just be direct. We're going to need you to jerk off another child, Mike. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But it would really help out.
Or maybe he did it. Who knows? Who knows? That's the thing. That's what I wanted to say. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Mike, God, and this little boy know. That's about it. That's about it. The only reason that I can even talk about this shit is because everybody is speculating. They all think he did it. And I don't think he did it. I'm alone in this. I don't think he did it. I'm not going to say I don't think he did it. That's too strong. Let me just say I am reserving judgment until all the facts come out. But so far from what I heard, I mean, the kid said he was dying of cancer. He was in Make-A-Wish Foundation. He claims he had 2 weeks to live, and it was his dying wish to meet Michael Jackson. Come on, man, give me a fucking break. This kid is 10 years old. He don't remember Thriller. The fuck you want to meet Michael Jackson for, honestly? I remember Thriller, and I just, like, kind of want to meet this nigga. Like, I wouldn't break an appointment to meet him. I'll put it that way. I'd have to already be free. That's ridiculous. That's like if I'm dying in 2 weeks and go, oh, mama, get me in a room with Chubby Chuckle. I wouldn't want to meet that motherfucker. My last 2 weeks. Why not Usher or somebody like this? So then the kid claims he goes to Michael's house. This is where it all gets crazy. He does everything you'd expect at Michael's house. They climbed trees and rode roller coasters and Ferris wheels. The chef made cookies, pies, and cakes. They was petting the monkey and the giraffe, sang songs, kid shit. And in the middle of all this childlike activity, for some reason, Mike pulled out some wine and some pills and sucked this kid's dick. Folks, it hurts me to say it. And the kid had the nerve to call that abuse. Motherfucker, that is a good host. God damn, what else do you want? What else do you want? I'm lucky to get a glass of grape drink at my friend's house. Let alone a roller coaster ride and my dick sucked. Mike must be confused, like I brought you in my house, I fed you, I sucked your dick, and this is how you repay me, motherfucker? This was your wish, not mine. Thought you were dying in 2 weeks. What happened to that motherfucker? I've been in court for a year and a half. You get stronger every time I see you. This is fucked up. I shouldn't even say this fuck. Wouldn't it be some ironic shit if they found out through this case that the cure for cancer was Michael Jackson sucking your dick somehow? Like if Mike had powers like Green Mile and all the kids like, please, Mike, suck our dicks. Never again. He didn't appreciate it.
Can we at least study your saliva? Please, Mike.
It just doesn't stop, though. It just doesn't stop. And the only reason I can talk about Mike is because he's a freak. He is a freak. That's why people let you talk about him. Because if I brought up Catholic priest fucking kids, it'd get quiet as shit. But when Michael Jackson does it, it's okay because he's a freak. His face is all cut up. But just remember, when you look at that thing that he calls his face, that he did that for you somehow. Somehow he thought you might, maybe it'll help. Maybe people will like me more if I turn myself into a white, ghoulish-like creature. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he did it for you. And I appreciate the gesture, Michael Jackson. If you're watching this, I appreciate that gesture, and I want you to know, fuck everybody, Dave Chappelle understands. Because you want to know something? I'm getting some work done. Surprise, yes. Nothing major. You would never know if I didn't tell you, but it's some shit I'm insecure about that I want to work on. If you must know, I'm getting Botox done on my balls to get these wrinkles out. Finally, I'll have these shit smooth as eggs. No, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I'm not stopping there. That's just phase one, baby. I'll be like Bob Vila, these old balls. I'm fixing them up. I'm plucking all the hair out. I gotta make room. I know this. I gotta make room. I'm gonna tattoo a gangster ass face on them, mean expressions like this. And then I'll grow the hair back on the bottom so they got beards like me. And then I'm hitting that beach and looking for ball suckers. I'm gonna wear some high shorts just like this. And walk up to women with a confidence I've never had before. Pardon me, miss. I don't mean to be rude. But do you suck balls? Excuse me? Miss, relax. You didn't even let me finish. Do you suck these balls? Oh my God, those balls are as smooth as eggs. Yes, I'll suck them. I've played this scenario out in my mind a million times, lady. That's how it always ends. Yes, I'll suck those balls.
Sad, I know, man. But we've already been through it. Like Michael Jackson. Remember when they said all that shit about Michael Jackson? They never proved anything till his dying day. But they said that he did some very heinous things. And one time I watched a documentary about it. They were talking about all the shit Michael Jackson allegedly did. And as they were saying all these allegations, they started showing pictures of his home, the Neverland Ranch. You ever seen Michael Jackson's house on television? Well, the short of it is, and I saw the whole thing, exotic animals and Ferris wheels and merry-go-rounds and shit. And the more they showed it, the more certain I was that I don't think Michael Jackson did any of those things they said he did. His house didn't look sexual. It looked like he was flossing on those motherfuckers. It didn't look like he was trying to fuck kids. It looked like he was just trying to impress them. Like, this nigga's Jay-Z for kids. Like, he's just walking through his house. This is my cotton candy machine. It makes 3 tons of cotton candy a day. You know, all the cotton candy you want. This closet is filled with nothing but custom-made karate slippers. Isn't that cool? Shall I have my monkey bring us more cupcakes? Hey guys, let's watch a movie. What movie do you want to see? Home Alone. Oh, no, don't touch the DVD player. Macaulay Culkin's here, he can act it out. Come on, Macaulay. Act out Home Alone for my guests. Hey, mister. This is fantastic, man. We had you all wrong. All wrong? What? I don't understand. What do you mean? Huh? Oh, well, you know, man, we thought it was going to be the usual. Like, you're going to have us come over and give us some wine cooler and, you know, suck our dicks. What? Suck your dick? You faggot-ass kids. Why trying to suck your dick, nigga? I was trying to show you a better life. Bubbles, get these kids the fuck out of my house. You're just like everyone else. Hollywood is no place for moral absolutism. You know what I mean? We must never forget that R. Kelly peed on a 15-year-old girl. And he also wrote, I Believe I Can Fly. Same guy, same lifetime. If I showed you that video of him peeing on that girl and scored it to I Believe I Can Fly, he'd be torn. I used to think that I could not go on if I can see it. It's okay, my career ended many years ago. Order. No, I'm terrible. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. You want to know what happened to me? tempting, but I don't want to talk about it. Maybe at the end, when I run out of things to talk about. Actually, I'm almost there. I'm just trying to tell you what happened to me was I just didn't have a good go of it. I don't know what you guys think happens when you quit a successful show like this. I'll tell you what doesn't happen. They don't go, hey, well, good luck with your future endeavors. That's not what happens. It was cold out there. For real, I had to watch it all go down without me. I had to watch all those people do my show, Key and Peele, and Amy Schumer, and Mind and Mencia. Well, I'm not going to say they were doing my show. I'm just saying they were mad. And people would come up to me on the street and be like, yo, nigga, just every once in a while. Most people thought I was crazy, but sometimes people come, yo, nigga, you did the right thing, man. You my hero. Nigga, I don't want to be your hero. I want to be rich. Never choose to be a hero, because heroes die uncomfortable deaths. All I wanted to be was Paul Revere. I just needed one heroic moment, you understand? Paul Revere's ride was only one night. And then 40 years of him being like, hey, y'all, remember that time everybody was asleep and I was up and the British was coming? Boy, it's a good thing I was awake, nigga. Everybody be dead.
Dave Chappelle is here. His sketch comedy show has been called the funniest half hour on television. Elvis Mitchell of the New York Times says Dave Chappelle isn't content just to play the race card. He shuffles the entire deck. Here is a look at a sketch from Chappelle's show.
Some people just know black people, right? Yeah, I'm serious. They got like gut instincts. Some people know black people. But who are those people? We don't know. So we got some people, and we put them to the test. Now, what you're about to see is absolutely real. These are real people. This is not actors. This is the real deal. Give it up for my new game show. I know black people. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How can black people rise up and overcome?
How can they rise up and overcome? Oh, can they?
That is correct.
Reparations.
That is acceptable.
This is a rap lyric?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, this is a general question.
This is an actual question.
All right. There's a complex answer there.
That is correct.
Staying alive.
That is correct. That is correct.
Or stop cutting each other's throat.
That also is correct. How can black people rise up and overcome?
Get out and vote?
That is incorrect.
I'm pleased to welcome Dave Chappelle to this table for the first time. Welcome.
Thank you, Charlie. Good to be here,
Great
man.
to be here, man. I'm telling you. I have met your extraordinary family outside.
Thank you.
This high, this high, this high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wife, the two sons. Who would have known that a guy with a show like this would be a father?
There you go. And a good one, I bet.
Yeah, I'm involved.
Now, is home, where do you live?
Oh, I live in Ohio.
Right.
I'm a resident of Ohio.
Do you actually sleep there?
Like 6 months out of a year.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'll come here, I'll do the show.
Right.
Then I'm going on tour later tonight.
Right.
Check your local comedy listings. And then I'm
Yes.
gonna
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna go home, man. I like
Yeah.
to go back to the farm. It's one of those things like even Superman has a place in the North Pole where he can relax and be himself.
Right.
And it is good for me and my family.
To have that place.
In contrast to what I do, it's just kind of sane and normal.
Yeah. You say that your material is more cultural than political.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, look, we live in a country that is incredibly culturally diverse, more so than racially diverse. You know, you could look at even in white culture, there's so many subcultures, so many different cultures that might not even interact, even though they're all the same race. Black culture is the same. Tupac doesn't hang out with the Huxtables or whatever. But you know,
they never knew each other at all.
But you got to bridge the gaps, man.
So there was within one race, but very different cultures.
Right.
One was the hip-hop community, one was sort of suburban,
right, and even
upper middle class.
Right, and even within partisan politics, there's people who I'm sure represent different subcultures within America. And I think that the comedy we do, more so than political, just deals with how these things in pop culture are absorbed by these subcultures.
Yeah. But here's the interesting thing. How much of it is just is about black African Americans being black, the relationship, like the skit we just saw? Is it half of it?
No. Well, this is the thing. You got to remember, the show was written primarily by me and one other person.
A white person.
A white person. Now, I'm glad you said that because I found that it was interesting. For people who say that, you know, I play this race card, I don't consider it a card. I think it's interesting that every publication, with the exception of USA Today, that I've read something about my show in, is compelled to mention the fact that my writing partner is white. People just think.
Now, why do you think they're compelled to do that?
People think in terms of race because the show is so racially charged.
Right.
They're amazed that a white person and a black person can be cohorts. And
yeah, I agree with you about race card. When you say race card, it's as if you're using your race for either to beat somebody up, or
it's too dismissive.
It's dismissive, exactly.
They're saying I'm being divisive, and that that
even though the person who said that is an African American himself was Mitchell.
Right. No. Well, yeah. When he said I wasn't offended, but normally I feel like it's just kind of divisive, and it's a real subtle way to dismiss any credibility of what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now the show itself is just what we just saw. It's you doing a kind of introduction of a bunch of skits.
Right. Now the thing is, originally the show was always supposed to be a real personal show, which is one of the reasons why there's primarily 2 people writing it.
Right.
Because you can't hire 12 people and be like
a personal story.
Right.
It'll,
my point
it'll
of
lose
view.
the voice.
Exactly. And last year we were establishing a voice. Then the fact that I don't want to read through a stack of papers and try to figure out who's going to be the funniest guy on paper.
Who were you influenced by? I mean, I would assume you got to say Richard Pryor, because it seems
absolutely
not to be influenced by Richard Pryor is not to have any
comic work in America, whether they know it or not, was influenced by what he's done.
And what was it about him that made him so powerful and influential? The genius?
He spoke the way that people speak. He took a very specific set of circumstances and conveyed them so that people who didn't even live those circumstances could understand what he was talking about. Because he had such a human element to his work.
Yeah.
He changed the way that comedians engage their audience, the way they pace the stage. He brought a lot of things to comedy. He's kind of like Coltrane for comedy, like the last innovator.
Yeah. He would go up and down the stage, all the way across the stage. He wouldn't just stand there.
Right, and he had that thing where if you watch his show, you felt like he was talking directly to you. Yeah. Even if there was 1,000 or 2,000 people in the room with you. He just, the way he engaged an audience just was very intimate, no matter how big the venue.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, they can't honor him enough. Take a look at this. This is a frontline parody from our own PBS. Here it is. Clayton Bigsby.
He was the only Negro we'd ever had around here. So we figured we'd make it easier on Clayton by just telling him and all the other blind kids that he was white.
And he never questioned it.
Why would he?
You've written 4 books now.
I've written 6 books. They published 4.
What would you say is the overall message of your books?
Sir, my message is simple. Niggers, Jews, homosexuals, Mexicans, Arabs, and all kinds of different chanks stink, and I hate it.
I noticed you referred to African Americans. What exactly is your problem?
How much time you got, buddy? Where would I start? Well, first of all, they're lazy, good-for-nothing tricksters, crack-smoking swindlers, big butt-having, wide-nosed, breathing all the white man's air. They eat up all the chicken. They think they're the best dancers, and they stink. Did I mention that before?
Yes, I believe you did, sir.
Matter of fact, my friend Jasper told me one of them coons came by his house to pick his sister up for a date. He said, look here, nigger, that there's my girl. Anyone has sex with my sister, it's gonna be me.
So the point is...
I like that sketch because it doesn't draw any conclusions. Yeah. It just paints a portrait of an insane dude.
Yeah.
It's based off of true stories, based off of my grandfather in reverse.
In reverse?
Yeah, my grandfather, if you saw him, he looks like a white man. For all I know, he is a white man.
Right.
He was born in a white hospital in 1911, so at least one of his parents were white.
Right.
As far as he knows, he's a black person. He's blind from birth. He was raised in black neighborhoods.
He was told he was black.
Right. He lives a black person's life.
Well, here's somebody who's told
and
they were white.
told the opposite.
Right, right.
So I just figured, what if someone...
The idea of using the N-word so much, is it simply because is there some goal in doing that?
Absolutely not.
None.
Nah,
if you use it so much, it'll somehow take away from the...
I think that's a byproduct of it. You know, see, I've been to entire symposiums on, like, the appropriateness of this word.
Right.
And I have never in my life experienced a word that draws so many different feelings out of people, black and white, you know.
But white comedians can't do it.
Absolutely not. I mean, they'd have to be really inventive and careful. Lenny Bruce did it.
Yeah.
Lenny Bruce made a good point about it, about the power that people give words.
Richard Pryor used it.
Richard Pryor used it. Richard Pryor wasn't making a point. That's just the way
he was using the
spoke.
vernacular he knew.
Right, exactly. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, there are people that speak that way. That's one of the subcultures in America. Right, it's a rather large subculture.
And it's spoken more among African Americans than it is among
and
any other culture.
Right. So the subculture that is in the top upper echelons of these media machines might deem it inappropriate for use. Meanwhile, people who consume their products on the street say it all the time. They know what context to say it. They know who and when and why and where they're saying it. And just because the people who own it, like, where am I supposed to go to be myself on television?
But you'd be offended if you walk out of this building and somebody says something to you using the N-word.
Absolutely. I'd be fighting mad.
You bet.
Because see, if I see another black person,
you're not using,
and I greet him that way, I don't think he would assume that I was trying to offend him. If a white person greets in that way, it's either A, it's malicious, it's bringing up this, just bringing up whatever the history is, or B, it's just insensitive and inconsiderate.
Or C, stupid.
Oh yeah, C,
he just
stupid.
doesn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
There are a few white people out there, I'm sure, black friends, that say that with their black friends with no consequence. But that's in the confines of their own personal friendships.
Right, exactly. All right, take a look at this. This is a sketch that examines what it would be like if a white Ozzie and Harriet family had an unusual last name.
This is my favorite.
Is your favorite?
Yeah,
all right, roll tape.
People come up to me, like, white people come up to me like, man, that sketch you did about them niggers, that was hilarious. Take it easy. You know, I was joking around. You start to realize these sketches in the wrong hands are dangerous. You know, and that N-word is a doozy, especially for us black folks. You know, a lot of different feelings come up when they hear that word. But I'm thinking, is it because that black people actually identify themselves as N-words? No, I don't know. Maybe. But what if we just use the word for other people? Would it be so bad? I don't know. So I made a sketch. It's about a white family whose last name happens to be nigger. That's all. Let's see how offensive the word sounds to me. Morning, niggas.
Why, it's Clifton, our colored milk man.
And it's my favorite family to deliver milk to. The niggers. Something sure smells good. You niggas cooking?
We sure are. There's some leftover bacon if you'd like some.
Ooh, none for me. I know better than to get between a nigga and their paw. Might get my fingers bit. Here you go. I
bother you about this, but, well, you didn't pay your bill last week. And I know how forgetful you niggas are when it comes to paying bills.
Golly, Clifton, it slipped my mind. Here you go. Sorry about that.
Oh, nigga, please. Nigga, please.
And one of your favorites.
I love that sketch.
You started performing when you were 14?
Yeah. Yeah. I started real young. It was one of these things where when I was 14, there was an article about Bill Cosby in Time magazine. And I was writing a book report on him. And in reading about the guy, I realized that being funny was a marketable skill. Like, I realized this guy came from nowhere.
Yeah.
And he was like a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
Just from telling jokes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. It was one of those things. And I just never stopped.
Well, but did you have a natural instinct for it, or did you simply say, you know, if I get in there early and I work my butt off, I'll be okay?
Comedians are born. There's some.
Are they really born?
Yeah. Now, there's some guys, look, I'm going to tell you like this. With the run the risk of sounding cocky, right. I have a natural ability for this that not every guy necessarily has. Some guys I see that are real funny that work tremendously hard to be that funny. Some guys literally can just talk funny.
They have that X factor.
It's a certain thing, you know. And a guy like Eddie Murphy, who might be one of the funniest dudes I've ever spoken to in casual conversation. And I mean, this guy is just like his talent is enormous. Like if you meet him, you forget. Okay, you're one of the biggest grossing comedy stars of all times in the world. He is incredibly funny.
Yeah.
There's another guy that works real hard that'll get a sitcom or he'll get a shot just by merit of showing up and by putting the work in. He'll get a shot, but he'll never be like Eddie Murphy.
Roll tape. This is a sketch in which you get a call from Miss Oprah.
Hello?
Dave, it's Oprah.
Oh. Hey, what's up, girl?
Look, Dave, I'm pregnant.
Are you sure it's mine?
No, Dave, listen, it's yours.
Got you, bitch.
What?
Hold on 1 second. All right, look, over. I'm gonna fly to Chicago tomorrow, okay? But I'm gonna need you to send me a ticket.
I'll fly you out.
One, baby. Could you have a limousine pick me up at the baggage claim? Because I don't have no cab money to get from the airport to your house.
Okay, sure thing.
Thanks, boo. Oprah? I love you, baby.
I love you too, David Chappelle.
All right. I'm going to go to work and tell everybody the good news tomorrow, and I'll see you in Chicago. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody, got an announcement to make. Ding, 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 ding. I quit. Excuse me. Got a quick word with you. Kiss my ass. Can you type a memo of that and send it around? I quit.
Dave, what's gotten into you?
Oh, Sally, it's not what's gotten into me. It's what's gotten into Oprah. My seed, son. I'm rich, bitch.
We know where the payoff is, don't we?
Oh, yeah. I love that sketch, too.
Yeah. Now, how long? You signed a new contract with Comedy Central?
No, I'm done.
You're done?
I'm technically unemployed. It's one of those things, man.
Weren't you doing well?
It was doing great. They want to renegotiate.
No, but why don't you want to renegotiate?
Well, I got to take a minute. Like, I just put the show to bed last night.
Yeah.
And the way people like this show and what it's like to do a show like this, I don't think people would ever understand the amount of work that we put into it. That's why I appreciate my show, you know? And I hope that the big story from this is that I'm a guy that has done 11 television show pilots. Went out to Hollywood. Disney signed me up a few times. Universal signed me up. Done one for Fox. I've done one for this one, for that one. And they always liked me. They always like, yeah, Dave Chappelle, he's really funny. Maybe he's like an Archie Bunker type, or maybe we can do like Seinfeld with him, or maybe we can, you know, a million ideas they had, none of which worked at all. At all. And the whole time, when I'm the guy, I would say, well, I have an idea about how I want to do this. And I was the last person they wanted to hear from. They would say things like, people watch television for regularity. So I was more from your school. I want a show that can be anything.
Right.
No, people don't like that.
I know.
Our research shows and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I know. And then they finally, after all these years, I get an opportunity to do a show. And Comedy Central says, do what you want. And it was overwhelmingly successful. Overwhelmingly, like the best case scenario for what could have happened. With #1 show on the network, I go down the street and people are saying the stuff from the night before,
right?
You know, screaming it at me, and it was two guys who were virtually just not being used.
Yeah, maybe you got to go to the source. Thank you.
Yeah,
great to have you.
so much, man.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. It's an honor to be here, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Chappelle.
Thank you. Oh, boy, I'm very nervous. No pressure. During the Civil Rights Movement, I can't read what's on the teleprompter. Some about black America and white America. There's black Americans and there's white Americans. We're all one America. So if you don't mind, this is not live, is it? I imagine whatever I say, you could just edit it out. Let's try it a few ways. Lou, are you in the booth?
I am.
All right, good. You know what, Lou? Let's just play around with it and see if we can get it right, get this clip package on, and then let me go home, all right?
You got it.
All right.
Ready?
All right, count me in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wu-Tang. I'm just with you, Lou. Let's do it again. We're gonna do it again. We'll get it right.
Here we go, Dave. 5, 4, 3, 2.
You know, when I was a comedian starting out in Washington, D.C., right here in this city, 1988, I'll never forget this. It was a comedy club owner that banned profanity from his comedy club. He said it offended his audience, and this was a cause of major concern for all the comedians in the circuit. And we all called a meeting, and we had the owners come, and it was the club owners, and it was the comedians. It was the classic labor dispute. The club owners laid out their case. There cannot be profanity in these clubs because that offends people. And there's a comedian who's still a good friend of mine to this day. He lives right here in Washington, D.C. He stood up and he said, he's black, I should tell you because it's important to the story. He says, I use profanity because I live a profane lifestyle. He says, I don't have an insect infestation in my house. I have roaches. My favorite comedians are like musicians, and the audience is their instrument. And the music they make is your laughter. And that's the laughter that I scored my entire life to. So now, some of my favorite American comedic composers. Thank you.
When I lose my job, I lose my man. Treat me like a dog. He called me a dog. Yes, he did. One day he called me an old dog. Sometime I wished I was a dog and he was a tree.
When you stop and think, football's a fair sport for my people. Only sport in the world a Negro can chase a white man and 40,000 people stand up and cheer him.
See, in my neighborhood, the kids have a kind of a dubious reaction to that whole Santa Claus concept. They just don't believe that a white man will ride a reindeer through Harlem after midnight.
In truth, white friend, it's you that all look alike. But look at the black people around you. We all different colors. Black walnut, burnt elk, almond, chocolate mocha, pecan, vanilla, yellow, mellow, light, bright, and damn near white. We come from the first people on the earth. You know, the first people on the earth were black people. We the first people had thought, right? We was the first one to say, where the am I?
And how do you get to Detroit?
I think maybe like 30 years ago, there was a woman that wanted to sing, and a black lady that sang opera that wanted to sing. What was her name? Mary Anderson. And this place was like segregated, and they couldn't sing here. And here we are, like not even 50 years later, a 22-year-old black man on stage getting paid to hold his. God bless America. I gotta go now. Y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.
Janelle Monáe, Will Smith, Common, Gladys Knight, and John Legend when we continue.
Yeah, man. Well, you ladies are right. To be honest with you, your lives look terrifying to me. They do, man. I know nothing about being a woman, but I know fear. Yo, I used to live in New York when I was 17, and I couldn't even pay my bills. You know what I did to make money? I used to do shows for drug dealers that wanted to clean their money up. One time I did a real good set, and these motherfuckers called me in the back room. They gave me $25,000 in cash. I was probably 18 or 19 years old. I was scared. I thanked them profusely. I put that money in my backpack. I jumped on the subway and started heading towards Brooklyn at 1 o'clock in the morning. Never been that terrified in my life. Because I never in my life had something that somebody else would want. I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, if motherfuckers knew how much money I had in this backpack, they'd kill me for it. Then I thought, holy shit. What if I had a pussy on me all the time? That's what women are dealing with. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's real talk. If them same drug dealers gave me a pussy and said, put this in your backpack and take it to Brooklyn, I'd be like, nigga, I can't accept this. I empathize, man, you know. Everybody gets mad because I say these jokes. But you understand that this is the best time to say them. More now than ever. And I know there's some comedians in the back. Motherfucker, you have a responsibility to speak recklessly. Otherwise. New York Times said that Louis C.K. jizzed on his own stomach. You know, I've busted a lot of nuts in my day. None of them were newsworthy. Shit was really gross, because they didn't just say it like I said it. They didn't just say jizz on the stomach. They said it in that fucking Pulitzer Prize winning style that the New York Times has. It was very descriptive, like, you know what I mean? Louis C.K.'s semen shot out like a volcano of misogyny, slowly drizzling down like lava, covering his freckled penis as it slowly dripped to a fiery crown of red hair. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to eat some huevos rancheros and these niggas is... And you know, the tough part, being a comedian, knowing the motherfuckers, everybody comes up to me like, did you know? Did you know what Louis was doing? No, bitch, I did not know. The fuck you think we talk about at the comedy club? Hey, nigga, how was the weekend? Great, man. I was just jerking off in faces and coming on my own stomach, having a good time. You know how this business is. No, I didn't know. They act like we sit around like Grease. Tell me more, tell me more. Then she put up a fight. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I don't know the choreography, but you get the point. You get the point. She was intense. But Louis was like the turning point. I mean, you know, all these allegations are terrible. Louis was the only... I shouldn't say this, but fuck it. His allegation was the only one that made me, like, laugh. If you think about it. Because all his friends is reading it, and he's jerking off, and he's surprising people. He's surprising me. I just picture all the comics and comedy just reading it like, what? It's terrible. I know it's terrible. I'm sorry, ladies. You're right. You are right. But at the same time, I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. Jesus Christ, they took everything from Louis. I was like, I don't know, it might be disproportionate. I can't tell. I can't tell. This is like where it's hard to be a man. One lady said, Louis C.K. masturbating in front of me ruined my comedy dreams. Word? Well, then I dare say, madam, you may have never had a dream. Come on, man, that's a brittle spirit. That is a brittle-ass spirit, nigga. That shit is too much. This is a grown-ass woman. You know what this shit is like? It's like COINTELPRO. You know what that is? It's a program that the FBI had on J. Edgar Hoover. In this program, one of the many things they did was they would track the sexual habits of anyone they considered an enemy of the state. It was a live button. That's why they got all these fucking sex tapes with Martin Luther King fucking bitches. But lucky for us, he actually had a dream. You think if Louis C.K. jerked off in front of Dr. King, he'd be like, I can't continue this movement. I'm sorry, but the freedom of black people must be stopped. I didn't know this nigga was gonna pull his dick out and jerk off like this. I just thought we were gonna get a couple of drinks and chill. Show business is just harder than that. Them women sounded like, I hate to say it, y'all, they sound weak. I know it sounds fucked up, I'm not supposed to say that, but one of these ladies was like, Louis C.K. was masturbating while I was on the phone with him. Bitch, you don't know how to hang up a phone? How the fuck are you going to survive in show business if this is an actual obstacle to your dreams? I know Louis is wrong, ma'am. I'm just saying I'm held to a higher standard of accountability than these women are. Don't forget who I am. Don't forget what I am. I am a black dude.
Fuck, I need an alibi. I can't be no celebrity. This shit is just the worst. I'm seeing it. I see why stars are crazy, man. These motherfuckers. I went to Disney World with my kids, which is a big deal for me. I don't get to see my kids so much. I do Chappelle show 20 hours a day, sleep for like half an hour, raise my kids for 10, 20 minutes, and I go back to work. Now, this particular day, I got to hook up with the kids. We went to Disney World. Everybody at the park, fucking everybody. Hey, I'm Rick James, bitch. Hey, I'm Rick James, bitch. It's like, hey, man, hey. You mind not calling me a bitch in front of my kids? Time out, motherfucker. We take a day off. Even Mickey Mouse did it. I said, this is the most unprofessional shit I have ever seen in my life. Rick James, bitch. Oh, I was fed up. I caught that motherfucker with an uppercut. Bop! Knocked his head clean off. Everybody was screaming. Oh my God, oh my God. Mickey Mouse is Mexican. But everybody's getting along. I see that shit. I see it all around. Blacks and whites don't fight so much. You know who don't have no beef with anybody is Asian people. I see how y'all be doing. Y'all just lay in the cut. Only people Asian people beef with is other Asian people. Like if you call a Korean guy Chinese, I've done this. They will flip out. Hey! What make you think I'm Chinese? I am Korean. I look Chinese. Yes, motherfucker, you do look Chinese. That's why I said it. It's an accident. Nigga, to the untrained eye, you all look Chinese to me. It's a mistake. I'm not trying to offend you. Some people say all black people look alike. We don't get bent out of shape. we normally just call those people police, okay? Just learn to live with it. I am not saying that to say that trans women aren't women. I am just saying that those pussies that they got, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's not pussy, but that's like beyond pussy or impossible pussy. You know what I mean? It tastes like pussy, but that's not quite what it is it? It's not blood, that's beet juice. I started doing stand-up comedy when I was 14. I'll never forget the first time I was on stage. The guy that introduced me was a guy named J.T. Newton. I'm 47. I can close my eyes and remember the introduction like it was yesterday. It went like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this next young man coming to the stage is starting his comedy career tonight. Who knows? We may be witnessing the birth of a star. Please welcome David Chappelle. From the first time that I ever held a microphone, I was sure this was it. I knew I was home. I knew I had found my thing. And my God, man, I was a child. I got good. Matter of fact, I was good from the moment I started. And I'm not saying this to be a braggart. I'm telling you the truth. These old niggas was in awe of me. How was this little boy so poised? They used to say. I was. I mean, you know, I got better, but it started out good. About a year into it, when I was 15 years old, I had written a joke during the AIDS epidemic about having a Goodyear condom. Something, I don't even remember the joke. Something about an industrial strength condom by Goodyear. I just remember all the comedians really liked that joke. And there was an older comedian. And he came to me one night after the show, after he saw the joke, and he said, listen, I got an audition at another comedy club, and I was wondering, do you mind if I do that joke? I just want to borrow it. Now, I'm a kid. I don't know any better. I'm like, borrow it? Well, I guess, sure, if it'll help your career. I let him do the joke. And then weeks later, I was waiting to go on in a comedy club, and he went on before me, and he did the joke. And after the show, I pulled him aside, and I said, hey, man, I don't mind you borrowing my jokes, but you got to give them back. He said, oh, I forgot to ask you. He goes, let me buy that joke from you for $50. And I said, man, I'd do it, but I'm just starting out. I need all the material I can get. The idea being that the more material I can accumulate, the faster I'll be able to make money for my work. I said, I can't do it. I want my joke back. I'll never forget this. Remember, I was a 15-year-old child. This guy was a grown-ass man. He stood up over me so I could see how big he was. And he said to me, really? I can just take it. And he did. I got scared because I was a child. But I never forgot that. I never forgot that. I was 15 years old. I'm 47 now. I think about this guy all the time. When I look at my own kids and I see how young and innocent they are, I can't believe someone did that to me. And I don't think about it every day because that was the worst thing that happened to me. I think about it every day because that was the first time that someone ever did that to me. But in my career, it has happened many, many times since, where someone would intimidate me or scare me and take something that I believe was mine. I'll tell you another story. Now I'm 18 years old. I'm living in New York City, and I just finished my first road tour, which was a very difficult tour. I'll spare you the details. Now I'm back in New York, but my rent is paid, thank God.
and I have $60 to my name, and a woman that I had met in Pittsburgh, a bad Dominican bitch, was coming to New York. She was going to spend the weekend with me. I couldn't wait for her to get there. She was coming that evening. But remember, I only had $60 for a whole weekend to entertain a bad bitch. Now I'm walking through Greenwich Village, and I see something I've never seen before. 3-card Monte. You know what that is? Yeah, the guy had the whole thing. The table was set up, and he had the 3 cards, and the crowd was hooting and hollering, and he was like, find the red card, find the red card, and people were playing. Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, but it was really exciting, and I'm standing there watching it, and I noticed while I'm watching them play this game that the red card, the one you're trying to find, had just a little bend on the corner. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, this guy doesn't seem to know that red card is bent. I'm gonna beat this motherfucker. And I walked up to the table, and I said, let me play a hand. And I put my last $60 on that table, and he starts to shuffle and find the red card, find the red card. And I kept watching that bent card go around the table, make sure I kept my eyes on that bent card. And when he stopped shuffling, and he said, find the red card, I pointed to it with confidence. Here it is right here. And he flipped it over, and it was black. And he took my money. I couldn't fucking believe that. How did this nigga do that? Was that magic or sorcery? I was confused. So you know what I did? I sat there, and I watched him for a real long time play the game. And I realized that all those people who was doing all that hooting and hollering and betting, my God, they were his friends. They were in on the whole thing. I felt so wronged. I felt so stupid. And then the next sucker came up to the table and was about to put his money down. And I said, fuck that, man. Don't put your money there. All these niggas is in on it. It's a trick. And when I said that, the guy that was dealing, and this motherfucker was huge, snatched me up by my collar. Feel how strong he was when he grabbed me. I was a skinny little guy. And he was gonna maul me. And the only reason he didn't, I'm sure, is because he saw the fear in my face. And that fear, he looked at me. I saw his eyes go from hard to soft. He softened. Then he looked at me like the way a father would look at a child. And he said to me, young man, don't ever come between a man and his meal. I never forgot that either. Most niggas would have to run the streets for years to learn a lesson that profound. It took me 2 seconds. Never get between somebody and their paper. Taking a man's livelihood away from him is akin to killing him. Look, it was way more intense than what you guys might have read. I don't know what you read, but the kid, while we was beating on him, reached in his waistband, pulled out a .22 caliber pistol. That shit was mayhem. Everybody started screaming, oh my God, he's got a gun. He's got a gun. And then I got scared. I was in the back, but I was scared. Because I knew that everybody that was with me was armed. Yes, if they had shot and killed this kid on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, like I pay you to do, Travis, but Travis G'd up. Travis wrestled the gun out of the kid's hand, and then he took it like this and tried to chamber the round, and he couldn't. So he pulled the trigger, and it wasn't a gun. A knife blade popped out of the front. I guess this kid was gonna stab me. Some scary shit. So the next night, even though I didn't have a show, I said, I gotta get right back on stage. And I went and did a show. And someone in the audience screamed out, Dave, what happened with the attack? And I didn't know there was journalists in the room. All I said was that this nigga had a knife that identified as a gun. I got 6 more weeks of bad press for that joke. I didn't even do nothing to this thing. That's not right. That was not right. And then the New York Post went to the jail and interviewed my attacker like he was some kind of hero. And I read that interview. Turns out the entire attack was my fault. Yes, I triggered him. I didn't mean to. I had done jokes about the homeless. It turns out this young man was homeless. And I mean, there's no way I could have known this. But I will say, for a homeless guy, this nigga had incredible seats. Oh, and they said I triggered him because I had done LBGTQ jokes, and it turns out this fellow was a B. That was the headline in the article. It said, Dave Chappelle's alleged attacker is bisexual. I said, alleged attacker? This motherfucker definitely attacked me. I'll show you the tape. He's allegedly bisexual. I'm going to need to see him suck somebody's dick before I believe the rest of this article. I read that shit in the paper. I was horrified. I was like, oh, bisexual? I could have been. No, you know what, though? It's not funny because after all that madness ensued, I went to the hotel room. I was by myself, and I opened the door, and my wife was in there alone. She was sobbing, like sobbing. I said, oh my God, what's wrong with you, bitch? Did you get attacked too? And she's crying. She said, oh my God, David. She said, if you had died tonight, me and the kids would have nothing. Then I knew it was serious. So I sat down on the bed next to her. And I reached in my pocket, I pulled some keys out that she had never seen before. She said, what are those keys? And I gently placed them in her hands. I said, sweetheart, those are the keys to my safe deposit box. God forbid anything ever happen to me. But if it does, don't even worry about it. You and the kids have everything you need in that box. I've already taken care of it. And she was looking at them keys, and I could see her mind realize what we were actually talking about. And then she just started crying harder. And to be honest with you, that made me cry a little bit too. And we hugged each other real tight. Do you know this bitch looked in the box while I'm alive and well? Who does that? Oh my God. And then she was mad at me. She said, God damn it, David, I opened that box. I said, you did? She said, yes, I did. And there was nothing in there. I said, nothing? Oh. She said, nothing except your stupid joke book. I said, whoosh. I said, well, sweetie, look. If you tell those jokes exactly how they're written, you and the kids should be fine. They're really good jokes. She's like, good jokes? What is this shit? Come join me in my watery grave. No, you gotta roll your throat. Join me in my watery grave. You know, that's just my grandmother used to sing that when she cleaning up. That's a Negro spiritual. Black work song. Not everybody know about that. I know. See, white people, you guys might whistle when you work. You dig? But that's how you can tell what kind of work we're actually doing.
I study that kind of I do. Anything that has to do with race. I read a little here, see a little there. And I travel. That's always good. Traveling has made me a racism connoisseur, if you will. You know, it's different from region to region. Anyone ever been down south? So you guys know what I'm talking about. And the racism down there is just, it's perfect. It's due to a perfection. It's comfortable, it's out in the open. There are no secrets in Mississippi. Everybody knows the deal. Morning, nigger. Morning, sir. Not up here. You hit the big cities, man. It's different. It's always a secret. And we should do like them. We should keep our shit out in the open, then a little. I mean, with limits. You don't want to say whatever comes to your mind. That might be a little much. White dude be walking down the street minding his business, and the brother walk up to him. Hello, you white oppressor, you slave master rapist of Africa. Why, hello, my big lip spear chucking friend. Touche, hunky. So, Whitey, what did you do today, huh? Oppress a new land and make the people there Christians against their will? What did you do, fellow? Burn those big black lips on a crack pipe as you miss your job interview? Easy, Whitey, you're cutting deep. All this chit-chat has got me thirsty. If you will excuse me for a moment, I'm going to go to the Korean store and get something to drink. Chilling. Hello. You slanted-eyed, ruining the economy in our neighborhood by opening stores and taking the money out the community. Chink. Wow. Good afternoon, you browse around but never buy anything. Suspicious looking nigga. After a while, that might be too much. But you can't help it. If you're an American, you're a racist. We brought up from the beginning to think in generalizations. We never look at the individual. We rarely look at the individual. I'm a racist. I know I'm a racist. You know how I know? The other day I caught myself being racist against myself. There's so much going on, I got mixed up. Forgot whose team I was on. One time I was reading the paper, man, this story came on about this guy was suing a department store because they wouldn't let him play Santa Claus, you know, because he's black. And I was actually like relieved when the department store beat him. That's bad. But I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready for the idea of a black Santa Claus, man. That would suck. So we wouldn't get our presents till the 28th, 29th. Sorry I'm late, kids. Santa got caught up with some in Vegas. I had to sell some toys to get back. Shit. Where them cookies at?
I heard that when Martin Luther King stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and said he had a dream, he was speaking into a PA system that Bill Cosby paid for. Do you understand what I'm saying? The point is this. He rapes, but he saves. And he saves more than he rapes, but he probably does rape. Thank you very much. Good night.
I know it's fucked up, but I tell you the truth. You know, everything's funny. Everything's funny till it happens to you. 3 months, a mere 3 months after that terrible attack that Chris Rock endured, I was on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, and a lunatic
jumped out of the crowd and attacked me. Now, I got to tell you, if it happens to you, you don't even know what the fuck is happening. It was like slow motion. I just looked over. I don't know this nigga. And I just looked and said, oh, my God, I'm being attacked. And this motherfucker was ragged. He jumped at me. He was like, ah! I'm old, but I'm fast. I caught this motherfucker's head with my hand and pulled his hoodie over his eyes. I can still feel his head in my hand. It was spongy. He had been growing dreadlocks. Not the beautiful dreads that Rastafarians grow. These were accidental LA homeless dreads. This shit had leaves and sticks and bottle caps and shit in it. Some kind of grease. I was like, ugh, like this. And then I fell down. And he knocked me all the way on the ground. And I was like, man, this is a bad situation. I don't know if I'm going to die or what's going to happen. But in that moment of vulnerability, you know what occurred to me that had never occurred to me before in my life? In that moment, it occurred to me that bodyguards should not wear dress shoes to work. Travis! This nigga Travis came out slipping and sliding on some kind of beautiful loafer and fell flat on his back. Bop. I said, oh my God. Now both of us are down. I gotta handle this shit myself. So I popped that back, boom. And then the kid that knocked me down, he popped out, boom, and we looked at each other and realized, at the same time, I was bigger than him. And that motherfucker took off running. And I started to chase him, and I said, fuck him. And I picked the microphone up. I said, I'm gonna finish this show now. That's right. For 3 months before that, I'd been making fun of Chris Rock. And people would ask me all the time. They'd say, Dave, what would you do if you were Chris Rock and Will Smith slapped you in the face? And to this day, the answer is the same. Well, I don't know what I would have done. I've never been in a situation that extreme. But I do know now what Will Smith would not have done. And that is enjoy the rest of his evening. Man, listen. We gave that kid a good while. We was whooping his ass. Not we. I mean, I was on stage trying to think of a joke to tell, but they was beating this nigga up right behind me. Everybody could see it. Everybody could see it. And I'm sitting up there trying to think of what to say. And I'm tongue-tied. Me, of all people, can't think of anything to say. Look at my karma. Just that moment. Of all the people in the world, Chris Rock walks from backstage, walks up to me in front of 20,000 people, grabs the mic out of my hands and looks at the crowd and goes, was that Will Smith? Man, motherfuckers fell out of their chairs laughing. I was standing there looking stupid. I was fucking furious because I'm thinking in my mind, nigga, this is my attack. You got attacked 3 months ago. Now you have jokes. So I snatched the mic back from Chris and tried to get one off, but my shit did not go good at all. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, it was a trans man. And the crowd was like, boo. It's LA, we like trans people, boo. I know, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But I know why I did it. You'd have to be there to understand, but man, when that guy tackled me, it was like it's like a movie or something. You gotta picture this. Picture a famous person you like. Every famous person you could imagine was at that show. It was like the biggest night that Hollywood had ever seen. And when that guy tackled me, he cleared the bleachers. I had to watch the tape afterwards to know this happened, but as soon as he tackled me, Jamie Foxx was the first motherfucker that jumped out of the crowd. He was wearing a white cowboy hat like he knew this shit was gonna happen to him. Never seen this nigga in a cowboy hat before. And Jamie started chasing that motherfucker around like any given Sunday. And that kid was fast as shit, was juking and shaking, and he broke Jamie's ankles, and he just kept running. And then Jon Stewart from The Daily Show ran from backstage and jumped at this motherfucker like Super Jew. He was like, ah! And the kid seen Jon coming, so he jumped back, and Jon went flying that way. And I just kid was fast. And then he turned around. He sees the emergency exit. He starts running for the emergency exit. Just before he got to the door, motherfucking Puff Daddy from Bad Boy Records jumped in front of the door. That nigga was like, Boy, Puffy got that motherfucker. And then every celebrity just ran out because every celebrity saw themselves in me and they just started beating the fuck out of that kid. And I know Chris was backstage looking like, nobody helped me. I'm fucking around. Yeah, man. Well, you ladies are right. To be honest with you, your lives look terrifying to me. They do, man. I know nothing about being a woman, but I know fear. Yo, I used to live in New York when I was 17, and I couldn't even pay my bills. You know what I did to make money? I used to do shows for drug dealers that wanted to clean their money up. One time I did a real good set, and these motherfuckers called me in the back room. They gave me $25,000 in cash. I was probably 18, 19 years old. I was scared. I thanked them profusely. I put that money in my backpack. I jumped on the subway and started heading towards Brooklyn at 1 o'clock in the morning. Never been that terrified in my life. Because I never in my life had something that somebody else would want. I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, if motherfuckers knew how much money I had in this backpack, they'd kill me for it. Then I thought, holy shit. What if I had a pussy on me all the time? That's what women are dealing with. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's real talk. If them same drug dealers gave me a pussy and said, put this in your backpack and take it to Brooklyn, I'd be like, nigga, I can't accept this. I empathize, man, you know. Everybody gets mad because I say these jokes. But you understand that this is the best time to say them. More now than ever. And I know there's some comedians in the back. Motherfucker, you have a responsibility to speak recklessly. Otherwise, my kids may never know what reckless talk sounds like. The joys of being wrong. I didn't come here to be right. Just came here to fuck around. It's hot in here suddenly, isn't it? I wonder where that heat came from. I wonder what happened to me. Where did I go for 12 years if I wasn't raped? Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe these rapes aren't even the worst of it. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? You can go ahead and go to the bathroom, Brooklyn. You don't need to hear this shit. He's under an enormous amount of pressure. He is. Just being big and black with that hairdo, nigga, motherfucker's a suspect for everything. Except white-collar crime. Sometimes I wouldn't talk about where I went, but y'all don't even want to know. I was gone for a long time, nigga. I was in the upside down. Scary being a white dude now, isn't it? A little bit, no? Well, you're not gonna get me too. But you know what I mean. It's funny for black dudes to see white people go through this because this is how it always is for us. All my heroes is either murdered by the government or registered sex offenders. Sad, I know, man. But we've already been through it, like Michael Jackson. Remember when they said all that shit about Michael Jackson? They never proved anything till his dying day, but they said that he did some very heinous things. And one time I watched a documentary about it. They were talking about all the shit Michael Jackson allegedly did. And as they were saying all these allegations, they started showing pictures of his home, the Neverland Ranch. You ever seen Michael Jackson's house on television? Well, the short of it is, and I saw the whole thing, exotic animals and Ferris wheels and merry-go-rounds and shit. And the more they showed it, the more certain I was that I don't think Michael Jackson did any of those things they said he did. His house didn't look sexual. It looked like he was flossing on those motherfuckers. It didn't look like he was trying to fuck kids. It looked like he's just trying to impress them. Like, this nigga's Jay-Z for kids. Like, he's just walking through his house. This is my cotton candy machine. It makes 3 tons of cotton candy a day. You know, all the cotton candy you want. This closet is filled with nothing but custom-made karate slippers. Isn't that cool? Shall I have my monkey bring us more cupcakes? Hey guys, let's watch a movie. What movie do you want to see? Home Alone. Oh, no, don't touch the DVD player. Macaulay Culkin's here, he can act it out. Come on, Macaulay. Act out Home Alone for my guests. Hey, mister. This is fantastic, man. We had you all wrong. All wrong? What? I don't understand. What do you mean? Huh? Oh, well, you know, man, we thought it was going to be the usual. Like, you're going to have us come over and give us some wine cooler and, you know, suck our dicks. What? Suck your dick? You faggot-ass kids. Why trying to suck your dick, nigga? I was trying to show you a better life. Bubbles, get these kids the fuck out of my house. You're just like everyone else. Hollywood is no place for moral absolutism. You know what I mean? We must never forget that R. Kelly peed on a 15-year-old girl. And he also wrote, I Believe I Can Fly. Same guy, same lifetime. If I showed you that video of him peeing on that girl and scored it to I Believe I Can Fly, he'd be torn. I used to think that I could not go on if I can see it. It's okay, my career ended many years ago. Order. No, I'm terrible. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. You want to know what happened to me? No. It's tempting, but I don't want to talk about it. Maybe at the end, when I run out of things to talk about. Actually, I'm almost there. I'm just trying to tell you what happened to me was not, I just didn't have a good go of it. I don't know what you guys think happens when you quit a successful show like this. I'll tell you what doesn't happen. They don't go, hey, well, good luck with your future endeavors. That's not what happens. It was cold out there. For real, I had to watch it all go down without me. I had to watch all those people do my show, Key and Peele, and Amy Schumer, and Mind and Mencia. Well, I'm not going to say they were doing my show. I'm just saying they were bad. And people would come up to me on the street and be like, yo, nigga, just every once in a while. Most people thought I was crazy, but sometimes people come, yo, nigga, you did the right thing, man. You my hero. Nigga, I don't want to be your hero. I want to be rich. Never choose to be a hero, because heroes die uncomfortable deaths. All I wanted to be was Paul Revere. I just needed one heroic moment, you understand? Paul Revere's ride was only one night. And then 40 years of him being like, Hey, y'all, remember that time everybody was asleep and I was up and the British was coming? Boy, it's a good thing I was awake, nigga. Everybody be dead.
All power and glory go to God. All greatness is from God. When a hero stumbles, well, the cowards rejoice. Nothing feels better to a coward than to watch a brave guy fall. Now, you guys might have seen in the news that I caught coronavirus recently, and then I did. Oops. I did. Because in the beginning of the pandemic, I talked to a guy in the live entertainment business, and I said, when can we go back to work? He said, probably sometime in 2022. And I said, there's no fucking way I can wait that long. And I just tried to find a way that I could work. You see what we've been doing. All of you who had to endure this invasive test and wear these masks just so we could be out and hang out and be together. I tried. And after all these months, after doing all these shows, God damn it, my number was up, and then I had the Rona. Oh. Cowards rejoice at a time like this because they're so invested in being afraid. And when I said I had the coronavirus, the overwhelming majority of people wished me well. Said, we hope you get better. Take care of yourself. We don't want anything bad to happen to you. But there was a faction of people, the cowards, who said, you see that, Dave Chappelle? That's why we stay inside where it's safe, and we never try anything. Well, enjoy yourselves, motherfuckers, because I'm better now. Years ago, a man named Edward Snowden came to notoriety. Do you remember him? Edward Snowden was a whistleblower. How people feel about him is a split decision. Is he good or is he bad? Was he right or was he wrong? I don't know. What he did was he detailed a government program where our government, the United States government, was spying on its own citizens. And when he did that, people didn't really care. If you remember at that time, we were prosecuting a war on terror, and my God, what if these terrorists are living amongst us? We have to do something if they spy on some of us. I mean, who has anything to hide? Remember that. Years later, after Michael Brown got killed and riots broke out in American cities and Ferguson and all these places, you heard black Americans saying they're militarizing our police departments, and no one cared because the unrest was so uncomfortable and so daunting, and all these Negroes looked so angry. Nobody said anything. Remember that. On January 6th, well, American citizens stormed the Capitol. You know, I'm from Washington, D.C. A lot of my friends growing up are Capitol Hill police officers. I said, what did you do that day? What did we do? We were kicking crackers down the steps like motherfucking 300, nigga. Trying to save our country. Watch the tapes. Watch that crowd that told Colin Kaepernick he can't kneel during a football game, try to beat a police officer to death with an American flag. Look at that shit. Take that nigga lesson. Take this nigga lesson. What was Edward Snowden talking about? Who is the terrorist now that they're looking for? It's you, not me. Not my black Muslim ass, it's you. Who are they militarizing the police for? They didn't call the National Guard on my black ass. It's you. That's what white people did. They felt what black people have been feeling for 400 years. For 30 minutes, stormed the Capitol and rubbed their shit on the walls. They carried a fucking Confederate flag through the rotunda. The Confederate Army didn't even do that. Motherfuckers, you went very far. It was a simple question. Do you have a country or not? And you said no. My God, man, we're in quite the pickle, aren't we? If you could solve a black American's problems, this country would have no problems. You're so busy talking about pronouns and this, that, and the other, but this is a very basic wrong. They kidnapped us. They brought us here. They treated us like shit. And all the time that they did that, they were afraid that we would do what you would do in the same situation. But did we storm the halls of the Capitol and rub our shit on the walls? Well, of course not. If that would have worked, we would have tried it.
I know how to solve my problems. You need to know how to solve your problems. You need to know where your power lies. You are Americans, so your power lies in each other. A few weeks ago, I put a special out. I called it Unforgiven. I told people what my beef was with Comedy Central. I never talked about it. I demanded that the network pay me. Many of my peers laughed at me because that's a ridiculous thing to demand. They said, well, you signed the contract, so what are you even mad about? Here's the thing. I'm very good at minding my own business. And the trick to minding your own business is knowing what is your business. And these people that talk about me, these cowards that rejoice, well, they don't understand what greatness looks like. I never asked Comedy Central for anything. If you remember, I said, I'm going to my real boss, and I came to you because I know where my power lies. I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty for you, you did. You made that show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing. And when you stopped watching it, they called me, and I got my name back, and I got my license back, and I got my show back, and they paid me millions of dollars. Thank you very much. When I took 12 years off and you put me right back on top when I came back, I couldn't thank you enough. You have kept me free. I have not had to do what so many of my colleagues have to do because of you. I have no idea what dicks taste like. This is a very important moment. I want to thank Ted Sarandos at Netflix, a CEO who had the courage to take my show off its platform at financial detriment to his company just because I asked him. And I want to thank Chris McCarthy of CBS Viacom. This guy is younger than me, and like most people younger than me, has an interest in making the past right, and did something that was very courageous. And finally, after all these years, I can finally say to Comedy Central, it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
David Chappelle. And it is my honor to be here tonight at Erykah Badu's birthday celebration because we are still booming. Why y'all stop playing? Keep going, keep going. Have you ever seen it before? Would you believe after all these years, I'm still dope? I'm not talking, it's real talk. Can I kick it? Don't stop me. The band is afraid to commit. Y'all niggas have got to commit. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? All right, I will. Shit. I turned 42 my last birthday. I was happy to beat statistics. But getting old is a trip. I'm not old, but I'm older than I've ever been. And it's a trip. I took 2 shits in a 45-minute span. That's what happens when you get my age. I was in a hotel suite jerking off and gave up in the middle. I didn't even finish. That's what happens when you get old. And you think you can't kick it no more. But we're still booming. Tough year, 42. I got booed off stage in Detroit. I'm just kidding. I got booed, but I didn't leave. I stood out there and took that shit. It's a long story, but the moral of the story, RC, never smoke weed with rappers. There might be something in that shit. You might have seen it on TMZ that said Dave Chappelle was on stage drunk. I was like, no, I wasn't drunk. No, that's not what it was. The crowd was looking crazy. I couldn't get it together. And a lady screamed out in the back, "I want my money back, Dave Chappelle." She said, "Fuck you. I work for GM all day to get the tickets for this goddamn show, and you suck." And the whole crowd said, "Yeah." And the whole crowd started chanting, "We want our money back." And I said, "Oh no, I better pull it together fast." I said, "Good people of Detroit, hear me and hear me now. You will never get your fucking money. I'm like Evil Knievel. I get paid for the attempt. I didn't say it'd be perfect. I just said I'd show up if you paid. I'd give it a shot. Anyway.
Love you, Dave.
I know you do, man. Thanks. But tonight's not about me. No, tonight's not about me. It's about one of my favorite entertainers of all times. You know, I can honestly say, I love this person. You know, I know I love this person because when you love somebody, they make you want to be better. She brings out the best in everybody that knows her person. And she brings out the best in every crowd I see her stand in front of. So as a crowd, can we kick it? Well then, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Make some real noise. Miss Erykah Badu.
And they all looked at me. They could tell who I was voting for just as easily as I could tell who they were voting for. But do you guys know what we all had in common? Not one of us, not a single one of us, looked like we felt good about what we had to do in that booth. We were just doing our goddamn duty. Yes, I voted for Hillary Clinton. Of course I did. I voted for her because I liked what she said vastly better than I liked what he said. But to be honest with you, at that point, that shit was like watching Darth Vader do the "I Have a Dream" speech. That bitch is mean as hell. She'd already Karate Kid swept Bernie Sanders' legs from underneath him. Boy, it was hard voting for that shit. But it was the lesser of the evils. I know you were a Clinton supporter, Miss I. I'm sorry for her. But it didn't feel as good as it should have. She was gonna be our first woman president. They were gonna make coins out of this bitch. And somehow she just missed the dunk. Of course she should have beat him. Of course she should have beat him. You know what voting for her felt like? It was bittersweet. It felt like I was lucky enough to eat Halle Berry's pussy. And whilst I was doing so, she fucking farted in my face, man. Now you understand, I'd still do it. But boy, I wish she didn't fart in this great nation's face. I voted that day, and then that same day I flew to New York City. I had work. That night I was in a comedy club in New York, and I said to an audience almost exactly what I just said to you. And I didn't know that there was a journalist in the room. And this journalist wrote an article. The headline of the article said, "Dave Chappelle is an avid." Yeah, I had no idea the paper said that. And you know how I found out? My wife called me from Ohio the next morning in a goddamn panic. David, what the fuck is going on in New York? I said, I'm being good, but what have you heard? And my wife said, the paper is saying that you're a Donald Trump supporter. I was like, whew. I said, don't worry about that shit, baby. Nobody in their right mind would believe that. And she said, no, David, people believe it. And then she started reading the comments to me. Oh, they were terrible. All these black people call me all kinds of Uncle Toms and shit. I should tell you, buddy, this is a very serious allegation from one black to another. I was incensed. Uncle Tom? How am I Uncle Tom, nigga? You the one that reads the Observer? Anyway, all this shit goes down around, and now Trump is the president, and I'm hosting Saturday Night Live. And I didn't really prepare my monologue. I just kind of winged it. And at the end of the monologue, I don't even remember what I said. I said something like, fuck it, we're historically disenfranchised, and we're gonna give him something about we're gonna give him a chance if he gives us a chance. I don't know what I said, but whatever I said, I really wish I didn't say that shit. It was not worth the trouble. Now I walk into the barbershop and all them black people just be looking at me like, yo, Dave, what's up with your boy? Yo, nigga, yo! Not my boy. Because I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, if you support him or not, any objective person is going to have to admit that this motherfucker is having a terrible go of it. It really is. We've had presidents before that have done bad jobs, but this shit is worse than a bad job. It's scary to watch. Holy shit, it's like seeing a crack pipe in your Uber driver's passengers. The fuck is wrong with this guy? Yo, he is lunching, nigga. I watched Donald Trump in a press conference, and this motherfucker had all the media gathered, and this nigga literally asked the media to their face to stop finding shit out. I was like, yo, this motherfucker is bugging. And then, I'm not even making this up, his lips started sweating. His lips. Have you ever seen a motherfucker's lip sweat? What the fuck is wrong with this nigga's lips? It's like if you're on a plane, right? You ever been on a plane? I get scared to fly. I do it all the time. I be scared on there. And sometimes the plane will hit turbulence. And then I get nervous. But I always look at the flight attendant, and she looks calm, and it makes me feel calm. But if that bitch's lips were sweating, it's terrifying. Like, yo, nigga, why are your lips sweating? What do you know? And then, I'm not even making this shit up. This motherfucker grabbed the podium, he goes, you don't know how scary the things I read in my briefings are. What's that, bro? That's bad leadership. Even as a parent, you think I'm gonna sit my kids down? Hey, little man, come here real quick. I want to holler at you for a second. Yo, I'm 3 months behind on the rent, nigga, and I am worried. Very worried. Go to school and have a productive day, nigga. I was just thinking out loud, getting some shit off my chest. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? This is bad, man. Jesus Christ. All this motherfucker's ideas sound like high people ideas. Like, he doesn't think these things through before he tells us. He just tells us what he's thinking as soon as it occurs to him. This shit sounds nuts. I'm gonna go to China, and I'm gonna get those jobs from China and bring them back here to America. For what, nigga? So iPhones can be $9,000? Leave that job in China where it belongs. None of us want to work that hard. What the fuck is he thinking? Because I don't want to make them shits. What the fuck are you doing? Stop trying to give us Chinese jobs. I am going to bring back coal. Coal? I'm not even exaggerating. I have never in my life even seen a fucking lump of coal. I honestly don't even know what coal is for. If you're gonna have motherfuckers digging around in the dirt looking for shit, Find me some truffles, nigga. That's what I'm about. And these truffle prices are getting out of control. If it gets any worse, I'm gonna be back down to regular butter like everybody else. Terrible, terrible job. This motherfucker hit North Korea with rap battle threats. Fire and fury, like, yo! Yo, what are you doing? It's fucking Korea, man. Kim Jong-un is a scary motherfucker. He might be as crazy as Trump. Some scary shit. And if you one of them naive motherfuckers that thinks that a war with Korea is gonna be easy, then you don't play Call of Duty at 3 a.m. like I do. Because that's when the Koreans play. Fucking 8-year-old Korean kid took out my whole goddamn platoon last night. I've never seen somebody in an office so high with the most just basic fucking solutions. Like, you know, we should not let any more Muslims in the country till we can figure out what's going on. Did he just say, figure out what's going on? Who doesn't know how to do basic math? Let's count it out, okay? There's been 17 mass shootings in the United States. 4 of them were done by Muslims. None of those 4 Muslims were from any of the 7 countries in your stupid ass original band. And since he brought it up, the other 13 shootings were done by the Tiki Torch Whites. These are facts. And you don't see me trying to ban white people from the show to keep it's a fucking terrible idea because it's mean and it's racist. And most importantly, it would be catastrophic to my bottom line. If there were no white people here tonight, I might leave this bitch with $1,800. This man needs to realize that we all need each other. And that's why we will never, ever be able to beat China. Because everybody in America is racist, and everybody in China is Chinese. This motherfucker called it all wrong. And don't believe the media either, because as all this shit is happening, the media is trying to make us believe that the extremities amongst us are the norms. We can disagree, that's fine. And most of us are keeping a cool head about this shit. You know what I mean? Americans generally respect one another's beliefs, even if they don't share those beliefs. I know I do. I respect everybody's beliefs except Amish people. Because they are the only ones that I can say clearly their God is wrong. The speed limit is 75 miles an hour in Ohio, and 1 lane of traffic is buggy. Nigga, your God is ridiculous. All the Amish people around my way know me too. Not from television, obviously. They know me from the streets. Because when I see them horse and buggies, I'll pull the Porsche over and talk to them. Ezekiel, are you sure that God doesn't want you to have any of this technology or this energy? Huh? Huh? I can't hear you, nigga. Let me turn this air conditioner off. What did you say? And them niggas be like, get away from me, ye. Ye tried to tempt me like the devil. Devil? Nah, bro, I'm trying to put you on to the game, Zeke. It's a big world out here, nigga. I just went 25 miles in 30 minutes. That's a day's journey for you. You don't even know what the weather's gonna be tomorrow, do you? I do. You don't even know that there's a valuable Pokemon right on your... I drive away. Huh? Oh, my vape pen? You want to hit my vape pen? Oh, sorry, nigga. trying not to get herpes. My bad. I've been playing cat and mouse with herpes for 30 years now, but every night I go to the club, I'll be like, not tonight, herpes. No disrespect, I'm not saying you have herpes, I'm just saying 1 out of 5 people do. So let's just all be careful around this motherfucker and make sure that we leave with the lips we came with.